It's very interesting how we're waiting for vacation. And then when vacation comes, many times we get sick. Type in the chat if that has ever happened to you. You work, 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 you push, you're trying to get everything ready for that vacation. And boom, the first few days of it, you might get a cold or start coughing and whatnot. And sometimes people are wondering, what is going on? Why is this happening? And it does have to do with an interesting biological phenomena that has to do with the way our immunity works and the way our body works in response to our emotion and the response that we have from our hormones related to stress. So today I will unpack the relationship between stress and emotions and also the response in the body and what can we do about it so that when that weighted vacation comes, we don't get sick. And you probably heard me by now if you've been around me for a while that it's actually better to regenerate on a daily basis than to wait for the vacation. But of course, we do want that vacation. And what I want for you is not to get sick the first few days, then scrap your vacation altogether. So if you're interested in the topic, stay tuned and let's dive in. And I'm Dr. Ioana from Team for the Soul, and I love to bring science, psychology, Christian faith, and spiritual care to really help you, especially if you're a giver, meaning you love to help others in many ways. It could be through giving an advice, supporting your neighbors, financially, giving at work, listening to others, whatever that way of giving to others is for you. There's nothing more important that I can be here for you to support you doing that so that you can keep on giving for the betterment of humanity. So without any further ado, let's dive in. When I used to teach in high school and middle school and at some point in college, but especially in the cycle of a high school and middle school, there's a lot of hustle and bustle through teaching with prepping for many courses. And if you're an educator out there, I want to send all my gratitude for you. It's so amazing to be able to teach and to help others. And at the same time, it's very draining. I mean, there's many preparations throughout the day that we, as teachers, we have to take care of. How many lesson plans to put online or to give to your students, prepare for quizzes, prepare for tests. In the same time, bring all the materials, get everything organized. On top of that, grading and putting all the results online and be able to be kind and compassionate and smiling around those beautiful human beings that are in your classroom, and all that day in and day out. And then vacation comes. And when I was doing that, first few days of vacation, I was crashing. Now, I knew the mechanism behind it as a physician, as my background is a physician. And I want to share that with you because having that knowledge really helped me to change that cycle after a few years. So what is going on? Emotions are key in expressing our needs. It could be needs that we have on an emotional level, need for being loved and need for intimacy and need to be appreciated and seen. It could be needs on a body level. We're tired. We need to rest. We need to eat. We need to sleep. Or needs on an intellectual level, on a mind level. Need to be curious, need to be engaged and be playful and creative and learn new things, right? So emotions are really at the core of our being, expressing these needs in different ways. And what was I doing when I was teaching? And many people, you might not be a teacher, an educator, you might be working in corporate world, or you might be an entrepreneur, or you might be working in a hospital, or you might be a spiritual care provider and supporting others, or you might be a religious leader or a minister in any kind or a missionary. When we keep on giving and we want to accomplish our goals, we want to see our project all the way to the end, whatever we're involved in, we want to do, many times we override our needs, especially as a body level or emotional level or a mind level. And we keep on going in internal family system or psychological methodology. This means we are engaging our striver parts. For whatever reason, many times with good reasons. It's nice to help and give to others. We keep striving and overriding needs, which actually are bringing forth needs that from all over corners of our inner world, body, mind, heart, and soul, and spiritual connection with God. So when we override on a medical perspective, from a scientific perspective, what happens is our body starts to mobilize stress hormones. Now, here is the key, that these stress hormones, when they're mobilized, they bring more energy. So the way we get caught up into the cycle is that we experience this energy and then we say, oh, we got this. It's working. I can override my system. I can keep on going because look at me. I'm full of energy. I am fine. Type in the chat if you really resonate with this, if that happened to you. It happened to me many times in medical school. All night I would go sometimes without sleeping because we had exams and we had to prepare. Now, mind you, fast forward several years and decades, realizing that that is exactly what's happening. We get into the stress response, and the stress response brings those stress hormones, mobilize energy, we feel better. And that is the wrong conclusion to take, that, oh, we can do this, let's keep on going. And that's how I burn out twice. And I'm not the only one. We all do this all the time. And it is an important piece of knowledge to really know and pay attention to that Russian energy, or taking those extra cup of coffees or energy drinks, whatever it is, extra food to keep you going. Because when we do that and the stress hormone goes on for days and weeks and months, in time, we're starting eroding our reserves of energy, which means we're getting closer to be burned out. We're getting closer for our immunity to go down. We're getting closer to have many of our needs not met. And then underneath in our subconscious, we start feeling we lose our interest in what we're doing, our motivation, and so on and so forth. So it is really important to know this mechanism and know that just because we are pushing ourselves and we have a lot of energy, it does not mean that we should continue with this rhythm past just a few days. We gotta really recuperate and really regenerate so that we can come back. And chances are you've lived long enough to know your body's needs and your emotional needs and needs on a thought level that you can start intuitively to do that. Now, you might, if all of a sudden you're like, no, I actually don't know that. We do have a free resource, Daily Renewal Template, which I walk you through the different steps, how to think body, mind, heart, and soul, with examples of how to create a routine on a daily basis. I found that quick renewals every day, 4 times a day, morning, midday, afternoon, and night, are more impactful than striving, and then just waiting to regenerate later when we have time. Because by then, our bodies, our emotions, we have a lot of catch up to do. In spiritual traditions, what I love, and Christianity especially, is that there is a sense of prayer 4 times a day. So there's a remembrance that even on a spiritual level, we want to pause 4 times a day. We do that with food, most likely. We eat 3-4 times a day, or sometimes we have snacks even more often. We want to move with our bodies 3-4 times a day, the same with our taking care of our emotions and our thoughts. So my encouragement for you is to keep on developing this renewal ritual. And if you're interested to learning even more, I have a full course on renewal in action, developing this renewal blueprint with a really flexible and in the same time structured way that we can integrate body, mind, heart, and soul. And I do have a program for Christians as well. We'll put the links down in the chat if you are interested in doing that. But this is the kind of thing that I've been really passionate about, especially after my burnouts, and using all those modalities. And this is the key in stress. If you are stressed, remember, and you're pushing through, remember when you're going to feel really good about it. This is the moment where you want to pause and regenerate. And make sure you do that 4 times a day. And with that, I thank you for all you do in the world, and I say goodbye for now.